Thank you. And also, and the last one is, when can a committee be formed for the planning of the Elk Grove Veterans Hall? I understand that a committee can be formed and they can start the start meeting in preparation for the designing phase. So what needs to be, what needs to be done so we make that happen soon?
If we can recruit for that.
Oh, that'd be great.
We don't even have anything on the table, do we? There's not even anything on the table for that, is there?
It's gone back and forth within this council. I mean, we have room to accommodate a veterans hall on the south side of the Civic Center complex.
Right, but I mean, right now we don't have an item that's on the table. We have Civic Center and Sports Complex. We don't have the Veterans Hall on the table at this time, do we?
There has not been a definite answer, yes or no, on that.
Okay.
Because we've had different direction. One has been that we have a separate building dedicated for the veterans. Another idea that the council has talked about is incorporating a veterans hall within the community center. So, like I said, there is room to accommodate a veterans hall on the south side. It sounds to me like the best way to approach this would be just to put together an agenda item and have the council have a conversation about it and give specific direction, and then we can carry that out.
Okay. Do we have a consensus to bring that back as an agenda item?
Within the context of the whole Civic Center complex, I don't think we should be piecemealing it. I mean, we got to spend all night debating it and come back and do it again. I mean, we might as well just bring it all at the same time.
Well, the only thing is it's going to get lost in this great scheme of the Civic Center, because that's, a few hours of discussion. And what I'm after is, because the veterans are coming to me and asking, since we approved back in the planning stages, that we were going to include a veterans hall, they want to know what can they do now to meet together themselves so they can, when the time comes, they can bring forth the plan for the veterans hall.
Yeah, I don't think it'd get lost in the discussion. I think it'd be front and center.
Well, it will, because the sport complex, the ballpark will take a great deal of time, and then the library will take a great deal of time, and we'll be here all night listening to all the, people that are going to want to speak. I mean, it's just one small item. I don't think it's a big deal that we can't just separate it out for our veterans to have the opportunity to come forward and to talk about it with us. They haven't had that opportunity yet.
Yeah, I support our vets. I think we need to just keep it, like as Councilmember Davis said, in one piece and do it all at once.
Councilman Hume?
Well, sorry, I think I'm lost a little bit on what's being asked for versus, I believe, what's being proposed is a group to get together to discuss what a Veterans Hall would look like.
Correct.
What amenities it should have, that sort of a thing.
Correct.
That then would be presented as a part of the overall larger Civic Center discussion.
That is correct.
I guess it's just like what the ball field's going to look like, the Civic Center, the library. Then let's piecemeal everything together and have it bought back at one time. Otherwise, those arguments are equally as persuasive for those other portions of the Civic Center as a Veterans Hall. I mean, everyone up here supports our vets. It's going to get built, but if we're going to start piecemealing items, let's piecemeal everything out and make 4 or 5 or 6 committees and do it. Otherwise, there's no persuasive argument just to break one out.
Well, Vice Mayor, I think you might be missing the point. I think Councilmember Hume spelled it out again. All it is we want to have a committee, which means put it on and start recruiting for a committee so they can get together. They can meet at someone's home. They won't bother city staff. They can do their own thing and iron it out so that when the time comes, because right now we have the sports complex, we have an ad hoc committee discussing that. We have, we're going to have to form a committee to talk about the library.
We don't have an ad hoc committee.
There's no ad hoc committee for the sports complex.
But we have, everybody's talking about the sports complex. That's the big piece in this whole project. I don't think I'm asking for much. I'm asking, I'm the voice of these citizens that are coming to me and asking for this. And I would strongly urge you to give them the opportunity to form this committee so that at least they're recognized that they are a committee under the umbrella of the city.
Councilman Davis.
Sometimes I think government tries to do too much. I think if veterans want to come together and meet and bring a proposal to the council, they should do it. And I think as a council member, you want to coordinate that, you should do it. And that happens in a lot of different areas. I've been a consistent supporter of the Veterans Hall, so I don't see a point in having a debate some night to put a committee together that's going to meet in somebody's living room. I mean, that'll just happen, right? And then, let's bring that proposal to the council as we discuss the whole Civic Center complex.
Well, there's not much more I can say except to tell you that it would have been nice if the city council had said, yes, I think it's a great idea. You can meet here in the chambers. You don't need staff. No, there's not going to be any expenses from the city. But if you wish it to go in another direction, then I will inform them that the city council is not prepared at this time to form a committee for them to be recognized as a committee to discuss the planning and the design and what they would like in a hall. I don't have a problem with that. My problem is that this council isn't willing to say, I think this is a great idea for a committee of veterans to get together, iron out things, talk about it, and then when the time comes, they would come forward. They're not going to come on a weekly basis and give us an update. But if that is the wish of this council, I will take it back to them, and I will be with that committee and guiding them through the process and what needs to be done.
Mr.
Thank
Mayor?
you.
Councilmember Hume.
Thank you. Councilmember Scherman, you can report back to them. I think it's a great idea if a committee of veterans gets together and plans out the Veterans Hall, and that I'm not prepared to make a decision regarding a Veterans Hall without their input.
Exactly.
So I think Councilmember Davis's point is well made, and I would encourage them not to be discouraged by no official designation, that, as many folks can get together and plan this thing out and decide what it ought to look like. We're going to have the best Veterans Hall we can. So.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, and City Hall can be used by any group. So I'm not sure what the issue is, but anyway.
And I support conceptually. I just think it's premature.